You're listening to Sports and More with Chris and Tom.
Welcome back. It's the guys with the faces for radio and the voices for a silent movie.
This is Sports and More with Chris and Tom. I am Chris.
And I am Tom, and I started to do your line. But first, we almost blew away.
Oh, it was
That's
bad.
What that was.
It was bad.
And in fact, all right, last night,
it was bad.
This is a Thursday night. We were originally supposed to be recording on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
But the Wednesday night, it was the 15th
Yeah.
of December.
Yeah.
Across the Midwest,
Bad.
super bad windstorms. In my own town, there was a tree. I mean, it had to be 2 to 3 feet wide at least. Just snapped in half.
Oh,
going right over power lines.
Oof.
Like that. No bueno.
No bueno.
So, and obviously we were experiencing some outages, some delays, and it worked out into our favor, something that we'll get into later.
Absolutely.
But we obviously then had to delay the recording of the show. Mm-hmm. So here we are, one day later, ready to bring it to you. And no, I don't have a special, intro coming from a different angle like I normally do for the video. No. I'm the big bad wolf who about blew over the Midwest.
Pretty much what happened. We got half an hour into recording, and then everything went kaput on the internet-wise. It was just bad. And I actually had stopped.
We lost power for a little bit last night, too.
Yeah, I mean, I actually had to stop recording. It was mayhem. It was just mayhem. So we're going fresh, and it should be a lot better this time around. But Tom had an interesting segment he wanted to start us off with. So, Tom, take it away with your new segment.
Nope.
No,
that's my segment. Is nope.
Nope.
Yes. All right. So we've got major nope of the day, and this goes actually back a couple of weeks now to the guys down in Frisco, Texas, by the names of Dude and Perfect.
Woo. Love those guys.
So love those guys. Oh man, that'd just be like a dream to have them on the show. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so about 2 weeks ago now, they went into their server room where they have all their computers, their network, that's where it's all housed, whatever, and they found a snake skin. That in itself, I just not a fan of that. But they didn't find any snake. They didn't find the owner of said snake skin. So they're looking, nothing around in that room. They cannot find anything. So 10 whole days go by without finding this thing, which I'm just like, 10 days. I would not last an hour after if we didn't find that thing without just I'm just going to leave the building until it's found.
Yep.
But 10 days go by and they're looking in their prop closet. They got one of those laundry bin on wheels like you see in locker rooms and stuff like that. They had one of those for some props and tools and all sorts of materials. They moved that and there is, not so little guy hanging out in the prop room. Others are kind of, most of them are kind of I'm just going to stay back, keep my distance. And Ty, the bearded guy, is like, oh, no, man, he's kind of cute. And just picks him up. I'm like, no, that would be the moment. I'm just like, I think you're a little bit too weird for me to be friends with you right now. I'm going to go take a break, go get a coffee, maybe a few miles away. I'm just going to hang out for a bit.
That's probably what Garrett did, in all honesty, knowing how G responds.
Probably just he's the clean freak. Yeah. He's just probably you know what? I'm just gonna head home.
Yeah, nope.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
He said nope. He said nope.
Yeah, that is my major nope of the week.
Absolutely.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
I don't care how much I love Dude Perfect. If I was employed there at the time, and that happened, I would start to question a little bit of do I really want to stick around?
Yeah. Snakes invading the office.
And that goes for anywhere.
Yeah. If a snake invades the office, I'm calling it a day. Sorry, everyone, but no snake. No.
I mean, snake skin alone, I'm going to work from home for as long as it takes till they find the thing. And even then, I'm going to go in with Lysol and just spray everything because I don't know where the thing's been, what it touched, if it was running over my keyboard at night. I don't know, and I don't really want to find out. But anyway, that was the situation down in Frisco, Texas, and they got all the creepy crawlies down there in Texas, but they dealt with it the way that a true Texan would know how to do. Just pick it up and play with it.
Yeah. Yep, that's how they do it, and us Illinois say nope, and we're out of there. But with that being said, we have our NFL standings update, and it's going to be a quick one because we have a game going on right now. As you all know, it's Thursday night. In the NFC North, the evil green yellow team that hails from Green Bay, Wisconsin, is in first place in the NFC North with a 4-game lead with 4 games to go, and in first place in the conference. In the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in first place with a 4-game lead over the Falcons and the Saints, and they are in second place. I don't know how or why that works out in the NFC because tiebreakers and they don't make any sense in the NFL. In the NFC East, the Cowboys have a 3-game lead over the Washington football team, and the Eagles wrap up that division. It's the Cowboys division. In the NFC West, the Cardinals hold a 1-game lead over the Rams because the Rams won on Monday night in a spectacular fashion, seeing as they were down some players. And it makes the division a little tighter with 4 games to go. A 1-game lead is a lot different than a 3-game lead if you're the Cardinals. In the AFC North, that division is wide open. The Ravens have a 1-game lead over the Browns and the Bengals, and a 1.5-game lead over the Steelers. That division can go to any team at this point in time because it's just a cluster mess of injuries and COVID at this point in time. In the AFC South, the Titans have a 2-game lead over the Colts, and that is essentially going to be the Titans division in my estimation because it's kind of a locked deal. I know the Colts are playing good football, but so are the Titans. In the AFC East, the Patriots, my bad, have a 2-game lead over the Bills, who are currently the 7th seed in the AFC East, which is unfortunate for us because we had the Bills as a Super Bowl team, and now it looks like they only have a 48% chance of making the playoffs. So we might have screwed that one up like the Niners last year. In the AFC West, the Chiefs hold a 1-game lead over the Chargers, who they're playing ahora right now on Fox and NFL Network. And currently, the Chiefs are leading that game. I believe the score is 10-0, but we will try to let you know what's going on throughout the night so you guys are aware as we are aware of what's going on. And those are your NFL standings for a quick update of going into week, what is it, 15 now? No, week 16. Jeez. No, I can't remember anymore.
Right, and all right. Thank you, Chris, for the standings update. I am back. I was
Yeah.
frozen there for a bit. Couldn't hear, couldn't see anything really. Like
Whoa.
you were frozen in like a weird like sort of face, and like that was all I got. So um, we're gonna move right on into some NFL updates, and one of the reasons that was is about 2 hours after we started recording, Urban Meyer got fired.
Oh, yeah.
And we were going to talk about how Urban Meyer was in hot water, but he's no longer in hot water because he's gone.
No.
Like, there have been a lot of rumors swirling for several months now about how the players and coaches have lost respect for Urban Meyer. The incidents surrounding, you know, benching certain players for extended periods of time,
Yep.
and when it really was not necessary. If you're going to teach a lesson like that, you really can't.
You're on, Master.
All right. So the rumors that have been swirling around for months, and we apologize for the technical difficulties. We've had to turn our cameras off. Beauty of running an internet show, a podcast across the 3 hour time difference, the 3 hours between us. We're running into some issues.
Yeah.
I almost said time difference, but we don't have that yet.
Nope.
But these rumors that have been swirling around about Urban Meyer and the players and coaches on the Jaguars losing respect for him consistently and persistently throughout the year, starting with the not traveling back with the team from the games a couple of months back,
Yep.
and then being found out at a bar with a woman that was not his wife, and then to also sitting players that had some behavior or disciplinary issues to teach them a lesson for multiple quarters in a game when they could have definitely been used. And in one particular instance, it took Trevor Lawrence, the rookie, to convince Urban Meyer to put that particular running back in the game at the time. And Chris, you have the player's name. I forget who that was
James
exactly.
James Robinson. I only know his name because he's on my fantasy
Okay.
football team. That's the only reason why I know his name.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
Yep.
But that's another thing. It's like, we're not in college anymore. You can't exactly just. I mean, it's not like these guys are on scholarships. They're making, uh, multiple millions of dollars every year. These are elite athletes. You can't just sit them for 2 quarters to teach them a lesson. If they have a disciplinary issue, you deal with that off the field and in the office. You figure out a way to do that. You cannot sit a guy for 2 quarters, especially when you're in the position the Jaguars are in, where they're in a position to really do some big things across the league. And then the most recent rumor that has not been confirmed yet, but former kicker for the Jags, Josh Lambo,
Mhm.
um, uh, released a story that he was kicked by Urban Meyer, and we don't have any other details other than that. We don't know, and obviously, he was cut from the team, so we don't know if this is just kind of him trying to make a bigger deal of something than it was, if it was a playful deal that he's taken out of context, if it didn't happen, or if maybe it happened as he claimed, and um, now we have an incident of a coach assaulting a player, essentially. But we don't have the details to know really what actually happened. But it's not like it matters. Urban Meyer is out of Jacksonville. He's not coaching anymore, and I mean, I think a lot of the recurring issues are the reason why. And I had some concerns about him going to the NFL to begin with. So I'm honestly not surprised. I think he would have. In my mind, I thought he would have at least lasted one season, but I mean, it sounds like he just did not make the transition well.
No, he did not. And I've actually listened to some of the story that Josh Lambo told. He actually told to a news reporter, and it sounds like Lambo was struggling with kicking field goals in preseason because he just come off of leg surgery in 2020, so he was trying to get back to healthy. And apparently, Urban Meyer essentially went up to him and said, "Hey, you're gonna make some bleepity bleeping field goals today," and kicked him in the hamstring. And that's what Lambo said happened. I'm not sure that's what happened, but that's what he claims has happened, which is not a good sign. And also, I like to make a quick sarcastic joke. I don't know how many people find it funny, but I find it funny. And I'm going to say that Urban Meyer got fired before a time to fake a heart condition and resign, like he did at Florida and Ohio State.
If only you could see the face I'm making right now, dude. Cringy, but believable.
Hey, it's happened every other spot he's been in. When he's actually Florida, allegations pop up. Oh, I have a heart condition. I have to resign. Ohio State, allegations pop up. Oh, I have a heart condition. I have to resign. Didn't happen in Jacksonville. They fired him. They fired his butt first.
Ouch.
Yeah.
They fired his heart and his butt, and his foot apparently too.
Yeah.
Everything is out of Jacksonville. See you later. Happy trails.
Happy trails. Don't come back no more. No more. No more. No more. No more. Jack.
Don't let the door hit you where your head coach's foot split you.
Yep, absolutely. And going off of that, these next few things are kind of like small potatoes. Well, not really small potatoes, but it kind of feels that way when you think about it, because next thing that we have is NFL injuries. That's Lamar Jackson's ankle. It's not a high ankle sprain. I don't know anything else that's going on. I haven't seen any new reports about it. He should be good to go next week. Josh Allen has turf toe. It's considered mild. He did finish the game against the Buccaneers last weekend, and he played just fine. And he actually hurt it in like the fourth quarter when he went off and scored all those touchdowns, so he should be good to go. And DeAndre Hopkins is out for the rest of the regular season with a sprained knee, so he should be able to go for the postseason. But it sounds like they are shutting him down for the regular season just so he's ready to go for the postseason.
Really, no surprises there across the board. I mean, happy for Lamar Jackson that it's not a high ankle sprain, recoverable, and so is turf toe. And then we got DeAndre Hopkins. I think it's more precautionary than anything to keep him out of the regular season.
Absolutely. That's the only thing you can say about those injuries.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. But now it's a slightly more serious topic. We have COVID cases piling up around the NFL. There are 37 positive COVID tests on Monday, another 25 on Tuesday, which has caused, and there's been more on Wednesday and Thursday. It's just been ballooning out of control. This caused 7 teams to go under the league's advanced, enhanced COVID protocols, those being the Cleveland Browns, the Los Angeles Rams, the Washington football team, the Atlanta Falcons, the Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, the Browns have Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, a whole bunch of other guys out. The Rams have OBJ, Jalen Ramsey, and some other guys out. The Bears have Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson's out. What's his guy? Eddie Goldman's
Allen
out.
Robinson.
Allen Robinson. Trying to have everyone else. It's almost like the whole team's out with COVID again, including their offensive coordinator, their defensive coordinator, and special teams coordinator. The Bears are just a mess at this point in time.
And that's not all a bad thing because that means Matt Nagy is going to be calling the shots across the board. And normally, I would say that is a bad thing. But this just might be the kick in the pants that to just send him packing because they will realize, hopefully, of course, this will be the week that we win. But hopefully, he kind of rears his ugly head and shows that he's not capable of calling on either side of the ball, and therefore really should not be coaching in Chicago. So that's why I am obviously I'm not celebrating the fact that several people have COVID. That's not at all what I'm doing. I am celebrating the fact that this could potentially be the downhill slope for the career of Matt Nagy in Chicago.
I 100% agree that it could be the end. I expect he'll stick around until we're eliminated from the playoffs, but he probably will hold on. And I would like to point out that I'm going to potentially paraphrase what Clay Travis said in Outkick. It's about dang time we start treating the COVID-19 similarly to the flu. Not saying it is the flu or exactly the same as the flu. I'm saying similarly because at this point we do have therapeutics like monoclonal antibodies, which from all reports, gets you right back to normal in about 48 hours, give or take. So at this point, it's endemic at this point in time, and I'm not so sure why we're still freaking out about it when it's like, yes, it's more deadly than the flu, but it's also, I think the death rate's less than that of you driving your car and getting killed in a car wreck. So no one stops driving the car, even though it kills you just fast, even though there's a higher chance of dying driving your car to work every day.
And you don't want me to get into that discussion, so I'm just going to leave it right there.
Yeah, I have to bring it up. Gotta talk about it.
Hey, fair enough, and I'm just not going to go there personally.
Right.
Because if I start, I'm not going to stop.
All right.
So
what's next?
Moving on, we have the NFL salary cap for 2022 has been announced. The salary cap for next year will be at $208.2 million.
Yes.
And this is $25.7 million higher from this year. And Chris, I mean, do you know the reasoning for that? Is this because we're seeing more high dollar contracts and this is becoming a regular thing that now we have to accommodate teams across the league?
No.
Or, is this what's the reasoning? I mean, is this to prevent more teams from having to pay a luxury tax?
No, this is because we actually have revenue streams back for the NFL. It's not just streaming services and advertisements. You have fans in the stands, and that generates more money for the franchises. So it's kind of the money stream is back for the NFL, and they announced that they're going more global, and they're going to start selling teams in select markets. I think there's 18 teams being marketed around the world, but only in certain regions. Like the Bears are being marketed in the UK, the Rams are being marketed in China,
and Spain.
Spain are the Bears? I thought they were UK.
No, both. And Spain.
Oh, gotcha. They're both. And I know the Rams are being marketed all over the place, like China and everywhere else. I know there's a few teams in Brazil. There's a few teams also in South America. A few teams in Mexico. So it's kind of that's what's happening. They're speculating that the money stream is going to go way, way up because of all this global marketing and whatnot.
And certainly because of that anticipated additional revenue, the salary cap should go up because Now we've got teams benefiting from that. We have the league benefiting from that. We also have teams and the league benefiting from, like you said, the fact that games are back in person for the most part. So really, where teams should be able to um, have a higher payroll.
Absolutely. And by the way, for context, for all of you out there who track cryptocurrency, the NFL salary cap in 2022 is the equivalent of 4,385 and about 0.7 bitcoins as of 8:45 on the 16th of December.
And at 8:46, it will be different.
It will be different, but it's roughly going to be around 4,400 bitcoins worth is the NFL salary cap. Just for perspective. All right.
Fair enough. Apparently, I just need to buy 4,400 bitcoins to be able to pay for an NFL team's salary.
Yeah. Good luck with that one. It's
nope, not happening. That's the major nope of the week.
Major nope. Yeah.
All right, kick us off with round us out with the last one.
All right. So my favorite quarterback of all time and favorite NFL player, Mr. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. threw his 700th career touchdown pass this past Sunday, or was it? Yeah, Sunday against the Bills. It was a game-winning overtime touchdown to Brashad Perriman, and it was it was his only catch of the day. Was a game winner, and he did not give that ball away like Mike Evans accidentally did with the 600th career regular season touchdown pass. This is 700 career total among regular season and playoffs combined. He's the first, of course, to do so because he is a walking, living, breathing first in the NFL. And so, congrats to Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. on another award.
And the beauty it was, being a game winner in overtime, like that's special. And Perriman's only catch of the day. You can definitely tell like he made a difference in that moment. He might have been thinking earlier on the sideline or just running his routes like, man, today's not the day. Today's not the day. But he made it count, and he's going to be in the record books forever. Not only because he helped win, he is the 700th career touchdown. And so when inevitably Tom Brady is in the Hall, his name is going to be in that book too.
Yep. When Tom Brady has his own wing of the Hall of Fame, it should be the correction to that. He will have his own wing with all the awards he has. If we ever get to see it, the man could be playing for another 12 years. At this point, he may just die in office as the greatest quarterback of all time, the way he's going.
You know what? If that happens, they just need to rename the Hall of Fame after him.
Yeah,
it's the Brady Football Hall of Fame. That's whatever. So
absolutely.
All right, so there's our NFL quote unquote rapid update of the week. And thank you for bearing with us during the technical difficulties. I know you don't get to see our shining, beautiful faces if you're watching this on YouTube. If you are listening to this on the podcast, you have no idea.
You have no idea what something's wrong.
But I assure you, something is very wrong.
Yep. Very, very
anyway,
wrong.
we're going to move on to another topic because you know what always is a hit on this show?
Food.
Puppies. No, I'm kidding. Food. Food. Whenever we talk about food, we get feedback beyond what we ever expected. So the discussion that we're going to have this week is, you know what? A couple of weeks ago, I was walking through the grocery store and I saw the whole aisle of like Little Debbie and Hostess treats. And I thought to myself, there's a lot here. I wonder if we ever did a ranking, what would end up as our top 3, top 5. So that's what we're going to do tonight.
There we go.
We're going to rank our top 3 and an honorable mention, Little Debbie / Hostess treats. And let me get us started with a controversial take on Little Debbie / Hostess treats. And that is about the mini donuts and the donuts and the mini muffins and the coffee cakes and the donut cakes and all those.
Yep.
They're not snacks. That is breakfast.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and give a big old spoiler. None of those are in my top 3 because I'm putting those as breakfast items and the rest as snacks.
Gotcha.
So there you go. Hate me if you want. At me in the comments. I don't care.
And I thought we were gonna go a whole other way with that one, but I agree that they didn't make my list either. But I love all of them, and especially the muffins. I had a hard time
Oh,
keeping those off the list. Those mini muffins are good. They're good.
you know, if it weren't for them having basically an entire line of breakfast items,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you even got like the donut sticks or whatever, and like if it weren't for that, mini muffins would have made my list. Because like I could probably eat an entire box
Yeah,
of the mini
those are
muffins
good.
and not feel bad about
Yeah, they are fantastic.
it. So yeah,
You want me?
I don't know, man. That's where I stand. But um, how do you want to get this started? Do you want to kick it off with the honorable mentions, or do you want to go with um, I mean, just go
Yeah.
right into our number 3, 2, and then do an honorable
No,
mention and then one, or what?
let's do honorable mentions. Let's get that out of the way so people aren't shocked to hear what we left off the list. I know we already talked about the donuts and everything, but what did we have like right after our top three so they know
All
what
right.
almost
Well,
made the
I
list?
mean, hey, you go for it then. You go for it.
All
This
right,
is yours now.
all right. So the honorable mention for me is the Little Debbie Nutty Buddy wafer bars, so like Nutter Butter bars.
Oh,
Those
beautiful.
are great. I just couldn't have them on the list because of the three items I have above them. But I had them at three, and I saw the other treats. Like, oh no, these are honorable mentions. I can't have them top three. Sorry, but they are dang
There are
good.
there are so many good ones. That's a
Yeah,
classic too.
yeah.
And all right, I got to ask now, how do you eat it?
Oh,
Do you eat it the right way or do you eat it the wrong way?
I I've
Do you
done.
dive right into it?
I dive right in, and then I've also split it. I've done it both ways. I've eaten them in both manners. I usually just dive right in and just eat the whole thing.
I see. I'm a splitter,
Oh yeah.
and once I discovered the split method, I never went back. I don't even know how I figured it out or what age I was, but like I used to be just I'm going to town right
Yep.
into it, but now I split it across. But that hey, nevertheless, classic
Yep.
treat, and that one. I mean, there's so many good options out there. It was hard to leave that one
Yep.
off.
It was difficult. It was very difficult, sir. So what's your honorable mention, if I may
My
ask?
my honorable mention is a vanilla zinger.
Oh,
And
those
do
are
you
good.
know what? Do you know what the vanilla zinger is?
I do. I think I know what that is, but remind
It's
everyone.
it's basically a slightly smaller Twinkie
Hmm.
with icing on top.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
and it's got like that well, not striped but like ribbed icing where it's kind of like got the little waves or
Hmm.
whatever going through it, and there's like the chocolate zingers are kind of more common apparently, but for the longest time I never got these because it has yellow icing on top, and so I assumed it's lemon. I never
Yeah.
looked at anything else in the packaging to say vanilla, and then a grocery store in Freeport has them so you can buy the individual ones for like 50 cents.
Hmm.
And so I looked at him like, wait a minute, that's vanilla. Let me give it a try. And it was a game changer. And honestly, this was like 2 months ago.
Too. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I really questioned like my entire childhood that I didn't try these.
Oh, absolutely. I think I may have had those a few times, but they weren't like the go-to treat. And we didn't have many of those in our house, so we had to really limit ourselves to like the heavy hitters. We couldn't really like branch out otherwise. They probably won't be
Right.
back.
Well, and hey, I mean, I don't know if you knew this. You lived about a block away from a Hostess store in Springfield
Yep.
at your old apartment.
Yep. I knew about that.
Uh, oh, my mom used to take us there. Um, every once in a while we'd just go there and get like because it's a bakery too. I think they have like fresh breads and things. We used to go and just get like fresh thing of bread every once in a while, and I would get little like pecan pinwheel
Mm.
rolls. And now like I think they're disgusting, but at the time that was like my treat for getting to go, and I thought they were the greatest thing ever.
Hey, there you go. It doesn't matter what the treat is, as long as it's a treat. A kid will eat it.
Yep, exactly. It's almost nostalgic now.
Absolutely.
um, I'm gonna go ahead and share my number 3, and then we can just kind of
Oh,
alternate back and forth and
sounds good.
whatever. My number 3, zebra cake rolls.
Oh, those are good. Those are good.
See, it's the zebra cake, but in like the same form as like a ho ho.
Hmm.
And I'm not really a super chocolate guy, and so that's vanilla cake, vanilla cream in the middle, and it's perfect. And I think like the cream to cake, the filling to cake ratio is even better than just like a regular zebra cake.
Yeah, that might be a game changer. I did not have that on my list. I looked at those. Oh, I like those, or I like those, but it just did not make the list for me, but that's a good one. I had to give it to you.
I mean, again, this is one that it was maybe like a year or two ago.
All right.
It's funny that I found all these good ones like in my late 20s.
Your late 20s. It wasn't like it was like college, and you're like, oh, I can eat whatever I want now
No,
because I'm in college. No, it's like
no, now it's I can eat whenever I want because I'm buying the groceries.
right. Exactly. Yeah. So for me, my number three was a classic, the Hostess Twinkies, because Twinkies are forever and they will never fade away. I believe cockroaches and Twinkies survive a nuclear holocaust, and that's about it. But even then,
I was gonna say, was it a Simpsons episode or a Family Guy
I can't
that they did
remember.
that?
It might have been Simpsons. It might have been that, but I was like, but Twinkies are so good. It doesn't matter that they don't go away in a nuclear holocaust. They're just that dang good.
That's one that like I like the zingers because it was a little bit extra on top. I you know I haven't had a Twinkie in such a long time. I maybe need to give it a try again, but I've just found so many other directions to go
Yeah,
than that.
I hear.
But nevertheless, it's a classic.
I'm a fan of the classics. If you guys couldn't tell on the show.
It's pretty obvious, man.
Yeah.
So, all right, why don't you give us your number two?
All right,
Then?
so number two is another classic, and you talked about this one already. The Hostess Ho Hos. Again, I'm more of a chocolate guy than a vanilla guy, so the Hostess Ho Ho makes number two on my list because it's got the chocolate.
Fair enough, and I mean, it's basically the zebra cake roll without the. I mean, and that all right. So the ho ho or the Swiss roll
The
because Little Debbie makes the Swiss roll, which is basically like a ho ho.
No, the Ho Ho from Hostess.
Wow, is this like a Coke versus Pepsi sort of a thing for you?
It's just
That sort of a difference.
I've never really thought of Little Debbie other things like that. I've always thought Hostess does the Twinkies and the Ho Hos, and Little Debbie does a lot of the other stuff. Is how my mind thinks about it.
Fair enough.
So
fair
I've never
enough.
really tried Little
All right.
Debbie's version of the Ho Ho. That's just how I am. I've never tried it to know if there's a difference.
Okay. All right, and I mean, I'm not a super chocolate guy, so I don't really go for the ho hos or the Swiss rolls. So I'm not really anyone to judge.
Take away number
Well,
two.
I'm going to go ahead and give my number two and the literal breakfast of champions because this is the breakfast of Nick Saban every day oatmeal cream pie.
Oh, those are good. Those are good.
He eats 2 oatmeal cream pies every day for breakfast. And you know what? I have eaten oatmeal cream pies for breakfast before.
They're good.
They're that good. Classic. You can pretty much eat them any temperature of the day. If you refrigerate them, they are best. That is a fact, proven. I don't even know what else to say, man. I kind of want to go off in a different direction here before we go our number ones, though.
Go ahead.
I want to talk about the vanilla cake treats, kind of like zebra cakes and the fancy cakes. Zebra cakes, fancy cakes, birthday cakes, all those ones, they're all the same. That's my take. They are exactly the same. With different packaging, different icing. That's all they are.
Oh boy, you're getting some hate from the
people. I'm gonna get so much hate from people for this one. But that is what they are. Look at the inside; they are all identical. I don't care if it's the fancy cakes, the wedding cake. I don't even think wedding cakes are the thing. Birthday cakes, zebra cakes, in the fall, Halloween cakes or the trick or treater thing. No, just because it's orange doesn't mean it's not vanilla flavored.
Nope.
It's all the same. So that's why I'm like, if you say you like one of those over the other, you are kidding yourself. And it's this whole like psychological effect going on based on the packaging or the appearance. That's all it is.
Are you telling me the red M&Ms don't taste the same as the green M&Ms? Is that what you're trying to tell me on this one? That's what's happening?
No, I'm not saying that at all because red and green M&Ms do taste different.
Okay.
I'm kidding. It's 100% the same thing. It's all chocolate, just like it's all vanilla cake.
Okay. All right. So that's what's happening here, people.
And here are my 2 most overrated snacks.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Here we go.
Fruit pies.
Yep.
Fruit pies. I think we can get behind that. It's not like it's a fried pie. It's dry.
Yeah. No.
There's not really a whole lot of fruit filling. It's just kind of like, the sugary syrupy thing. There's not really any like apple or cherry or anything in it. So like, no, just
No.
I've tried to go back to a couple of them, just doesn't work out. So I'm like, I don't really want to put myself through that. And uh, how about glazed honey buns?
Ooh.
Glazed honey buns are overrated. Waldeck, I know you listen to this show.
Oh.
Uh, Regular glazed honey buns, not a fan. No,
Oh boy.
that I mean, if it's glazed, it might as well be naked. And who wants a naked treat?
No. Jeez. Ta- Waldeck's gonna find you and jam a glazed honey bun down your throat now, just for saying that.
I looked all over Kingdom Come inside the Casey's to find these Casey's glazed honey buns,
Yeah.
and I thought he was talking about this like bakery
Mm-hmm.
treat. No, it's like their version of a honey bun. It's just in a package or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's nothing special about
No.
it.
Oh jeez.
He made me try one. I'm like, I sure no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
It's and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you my number one. Kind of building off of this
Yeah.
is an iced honey bun.
There you go. Yeah.
Here we go from two ends of the spectrum. Glazed honey buns are overrated, but when you put white icing on top, it is an absolute game changer.
I'm gonna shock you here, Tom. Tom, that was my number one as well.
Are you serious?
That was my number one as well.
Oh, fantastic!
That was my number
That's
one.
amazing.
I saw Ice Honey Bun and said, "Bingo is his name. Oh, that's number one. We're done here. Go home."
Any time of the day, just I don't know what it is, but I think the actual icing, the white icing on it, um, makes it more moist.
Yes.
It makes it the glaze
Yeah.
just seems like it's dried out
Yeah.
for some reason.
It's not like a glazed
Again,
crispy.
probably psychological,
Yeah.
but I'm like, oh yeah.
Not like
You're
a
right.
glazed Krispy Kreme donut. It's different. The glaze does not make it softer for whatever reason on the honey bun. I don't know what it is.
Right, and it's just the honey bun. Like I don't know what it is with it. Like other glazed treats, like you know, uh, like you just said, a glazed Krispy Kreme donut. I would argue is one of the best donuts out there, and I think I probably have said that.
Yeah.
But like, it's yeah. I mean, something about the jumbo iced honey bun just cannot be beat in my book. And um, 100 times out of 100, if you put glazed versus iced in front of me, I will reach for the iced.
Yep. Pretty much same here. That's where I'm going with it. Sorry, Waldeck, but
And you know what you know why I don't not why I really like that um, scenario, the theoretical scenario in my head is that means I have 100 iced honey buns.
of course, that's why you like the scenario. Of course, that's why you like the scenario. Oy vey. Well, there you guys go. Those are our favorite No Labels as Hostess treats. Come at us if you want on Facebook or YouTube. We don't care. We will defend the Ice Honey Buns to the death, apparently, because we both agree, which is a shocker. We agree on the same treats, considering we can't even agree that pumpkin pie is the correct pie to have on Thanksgiving. But we'll leave that
False.
at that. We'll leave that alone.
We're not gonna if you want that discussion, look about a year ago on the podcast hosting sites, and you'll hear me defend to no end that pumpkin pie is an unacceptable pie in my opinion. It's a texture thing, honestly, and you will hear Chris defend to the death that it is the best pie known to man.
Absolutely. I see pumpkin pie. I eat pumpkin pie 10 times out of 10. That's how that works, people.
All right, I will tell you this: it's still a texture thing for me. My wife made pumpkin pie with fresh pumpkin,
Yes.
like not canned,
Right.
not canned this time around for Thanksgiving. It did taste better than like a normal canned or store bought or bakery pumpkin pie. I think because it was fresh, like we picked the pumpkin ourselves and she roasted it and pureed it and made the whole thing from scratch. I mean, did everything but grow the pumpkin. So I don't know if that had a difference or whatever, but I mean, I still would not pick a pumpkin pie, but I mean, just in the same way that I still would not pick an iced honey bun or a glazed honey bun.
Yeah, okay, that to each their own. And Waldeck, we're sorry, but you're wrong on this one. So that's the end of that, guys. And that leads us into our game of the week, which we posted about just what was it last night? Tom, you made the post, or was it this morning? I can't remember.
It was this afternoon.
Okay.
Last night got away from me, and this morning got busy with some work and stuff. So during my break this afternoon, I posted it.
Gotcha. And that game of the week, as you guys know, is the Kansas City Chiefs at 9-4 versus the LA Chargers at 8-5 for the division. I believe, Tom, you have the Chiefs. I have the no, my bad. You have the Chargers. I have the Chiefs. My bad. Sorry about that. I had that crisscross my mind for whatever reason. But as of right now, that score is Chargers 14, Chiefs 10 in the third quarter. So that game has changed quick, fast. No, my bad. 14-13. Chiefs just kicked the field goal. Chargers in the lead, 14-13, and it should be a pretty close game all the way through at this point.
It should be, and I'm just telling you, Mahomes and Allen are on opposite sides of the ball. We got Allen as a wideout for the Chargers, and Mahomes obviously is a QB for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I need them both to step up tonight, and neither one are
No.
because I am playing Jawa's mom.
Yeah.
In fantasy this week, and she's leading the league.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked. I saw Salmon Lamb for like 3 weeks, and I like lost track. But now I'm like, all right, get back into it. We gotta make a push for the playoffs, Chris.
She is 11-3, and that is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely, freaking.
So, as much as I want the Chargers to win, I'm gonna need it to come on the hands of Allen tonight. Yeah. Of good old Keenan Allen.
Hey, I mean that's a good. The Chargers are a good team. Justin Herbert does seem to be the guy in LA, and Mahomes and the Chiefs. They did figure things out on offense lately, and their defense has been much better. And actually, their defense is ranked 6th in the NFL in points allowed per game at 20.6. Considering they were 31st at the start of the season, they've made a quick turnaround and a massive turnaround, to say the least.
Absolutely, they have, and. I mean, we kind of did not exactly have a high hope for the Chiefs early on, but like you said, they're turning it around. The Chargers are, I mean, almost identical in some regards to the Chiefs on offense. I mean, 28 points per game, tied for 18 in the NFL with the Chiefs. And Herbert he produces. He's young, he's athletic, and obviously because he's had the starting role since last year, and he's proving that he's worth the early pick for him in last year's draft. I mean, this is a guy who took his opportunity and made the most of it, and is continuing to do so. The unfortunate thing, though, is that the Chargers do allow 25.8 points per game on defense, which is 26th in the NFL.
That defense is bad.
And that only leaves them a net. It only leaves them a net point differential of 2.2 points. Currently, the Chiefs are listed by 3, which essentially is saying that the experts think that this is going to be a toss-up game. And right now, it's a 1-point differential or 1-point difference in the game. So it's kind of proving to be a toss-up game. So we're going to see in a matter of hours who is right. And obviously you all will know by the time that this video comes out or the audio comes out. But, man, what we're seeing tonight, it looks pretty even.
Absolutely. And just for the record, Justin Herbert is the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for 4,000 yards in his first 2 seasons as a starter. So he is making history. He is that dude, and the conversation the conversation of Herbert or Tua is kind of over at this point. It's Justin Herbert all day long.
Absolutely.
Now the question is Herbert or Joe Burrow, and that conversation is going to be hot because Burrow's doing well with the Bengals, and if he doesn't turn the ball over, the Bengals win. Essentially, is how that works out in Cincinnati. So it's going to be. That will be the debates. It'll be Herbert or Burrow should have been number 1, not should have been Tua or Herbert at 5. That debate's over with. It's done.
Yeah, exactly. He's proven himself, and like you said, history maker already, which is good to see. I mean, we had doubts early on what was going to happen there, but clearly he is putting all doubt aside. So there you have it. We have me, Tom, with the Chargers, and Chris with the Chiefs, and we will know the outcome of that in probably the next hour or two.
Mhm.
because it is. I think there's about 10 minutes left in the third quarter right about now.
Yep.
So we'll have the results before we even post this video.
Absolutely, guys. And with that being said, let's head to the outro. And remember to like and to follow our Facebook page. And if you want updates regarding the show, Tom's been out on the ball with those guys. And you can email us at sportsandmore with CT, capital C, capital T, at gmail.com if you have any questions or comments regarding the show. Once again, that's sportsandmore with CT, capital C, capital T, at gmail.com.
And you can also go to our Anchor page, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or the YouTubes to download or watch this episode and any future episodes we create. Obviously, tonight was a very different
Yep.
episode if you were watching this on YouTube because video cut out halfway through. Your computer is not the issue, it is ours.
Yep.
We had the windstorm coming through last night, and I think we're still seeing some of the effects, especially up by me in the more rural area with connectivity, especially with the distance that Chris and I are dealing with here. We're just running into some of that. So if you're watching this on YouTube, everything is fine. We should be back to normal at our next episode. But like Chris was saying, like, subscribe. I'm pointing to the bottom, but you can't see
You
me
can't see it.
anyway. I'm pointing to the top anyway. Um, uh, all of that helps us. All of that makes us feel good about what we're doing, even though we're going to continue to do this, even if you thumbs down it. We prefer you didn't, but we would still do it.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, I think we do have someone who actually has the notification bell on. I give a shout out to Paul as often as I can, but he has listened or watched the show, one or the other, in some regard before I have even had a chance to post it to Facebook before.
Jeez.
He was sending me questions last week or maybe 2 weeks ago before I had posted to Facebook. I'm like, oh my gosh, you are the number one fan on the show.
Man,
So that's when we
dedication,
know.
Paul.
So if you want to beat Paul to being the first one to watch the videos, click that bell and toggle the notifications to all because he is fast on the draw and will continue to be. So if you want to be number one, you got to get that bell on.
Hey, Paul, I'm going to challenge you because tonight I'm going to post it literally after the show and see how fast you can ask Tom a question. So, Tom, if you had texted like midnight, you know what happened.
If I get any text at midnight, I'm not looking at them, dude.
With that being said, we'd like to thank all of you, not just Paul, but all of our fans, probably the tens and tens of people listening to our ridiculous things and ramblings on the show regarding the myriad of things like the major nope of the week of Snakes in the Office, of all the NFL updates, and of Little Debbie treats, and also dealing with our horrible issues with video tonight. We apologize greatly in advance, or in this case, at post, because it is out of our control, guys, and we're very sorry about that.
We're going to do what we can to get back to it in the normal way next week. I mean, hopefully, and honestly, I mean, I want to take this time. I know that a lot of people tend to click off by the time we get to the outro, but I know that a lot of people were affected with the recent storms, especially in Southern Illinois, Kentucky,
Yes.
and the like, and now we're seeing in Iowa as well. Um, we just want to know that everyone that has been affected, you're in our thoughts and our prayers. And if there's anything that we or the Sports and More Nation that has been watching these videos and following us for a year can do. I just encourage our audience to reach out to your loved ones and your friends in these areas and offer your support because especially the people of Kentucky, it's a devastating area, or devastated area, I should say, and a lot of people are affected. But we're seeing those effects down in Southern Illinois too. And I know personally, I still have quite a few friends that live in Southern Illinois, and some of them are seeing it now. And I definitely wish and hope for the best, and I'll continue to pray for recovery for the area and the people as well. So I know kind of a somber note to end on, but we're seeing a very what we're dealing with in our connectivity issues pales in comparison to what the folks down in Kentucky and in Illinois and Iowa and Oklahoma and the like are dealing with right now. We have it good where we are right
Absolutely.
now compared to them, and honestly, I feel a little awkward um, saying that we are feeling an effect of it when in all reality we feel nothing compared to them. So
Absolutely.
just know if there's anything that we can do, we would be to help. But as far as our next episode's creation date is concerned, I know we got Christmas coming up. We'll try to get something out to you before then. But if not, please have a very merry and safe Christmas. We hope you are all blessed during this time of the year. But do keep an eye on the Facebook page for an update regarding next episode. Until then, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, watch for ice, watch for deer, and stay free.
And happy Festivus to all. Sports and More with Chris and Thom is brought to you by no one. All non-original thoughts and ideas were properly noted during each segment.